back to the Rainy Days podcast. My name is Diego, the host of this podcast. Today I have...
KJ.
KJ! Hi, KJ.
Hi, Diego.
We've been friends for quite some time.
We have been.
Remember the GameStop days?
Oh my god. The golden era of GameStop.
Golden era. For me, that didn't last too long. That was maybe like 2 or 3 months max.
You think it was only 2 or 3 months? I thought it was at least a year.
Until, when did the golden era end?
I want to say... Okay, so let's establish what exactly is the golden era.
Okay.
So there's me and you. So we know the gist of it, which is when you went to work and you didn't care who was on the, schedule. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I kind of, bleep my own self sometimes, but...
You're welcome to say fuck on the show.
Okay. I mean, I know because I've seen the other episodes, but yeah. I generally do it, and I'll switch up, and then I won't give a fuck later, so... So it's when you went to work and you didn't care who was on the schedule, you was happy to be there, man. It was exciting, even though we probably had shitty customers, which even still was not that bad.
It was a daily task.
Yeah, it's work. But the people, though, made my day. I knew it was gonna be okay. Mm-hmm. So I want to say definitely me, you, Sam.
Yeah.
Austin too.
Mm-hmm.
Kaylee definitely, obviously, because she owned the store. Or that was her store.
Yeah.
I don't know if Carl was after the fact. I mean, he was there. When he was there, I was cool too. I like working with Carl. I'm just trying to think of the employees that were there when we were there.
Did you say Kimmy already?
No, Kimmy. Yes, I do like working with Kimmy, bro. Oh my god, man. And I think because that's everybody that we know, right?
Yeah, I think the golden era ended when the first seasonals came in.
The first seasonals?
Yeah, Nick. Remember Nick?
I do remember Nick. I didn't have a problem with Nick.
I never had a problem with Nick. No, but the thing is that at that point it became from the Familia to the Familia and then some.
the extended family.
The Expendables.
Okay, fair enough.
So it wasn't that you didn't fuck, I work with Nick today. It's more of okay, I got KJ, Sam, and, all right, Nick and Kaylee.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. But I think that's where it started to not roll into chaos, but the golden era was over.
Yeah.
And then slowly started the Silver Age.
The Silver Age. Okay.
And then the Silver Age ended when Kaylee left.
Completely? I wasn't even there by the time she left. Damn.
When Kaylee left, the Silver Age was over. And then it was the Bronze Age, where it was just Carl there. He was the last man standing.
He was. Him and Joey. Mm-hmm. British Joey.
Yeah,
English
British
Joey. Not the other one.
No, not diabetic Joey.
Not diabetic Joey.
Not Pop Socket Joey.
Oh my gosh. And he was okay. It was just you know how you just try not to talk about politics at work, and sometimes it happens.
This is slip up.
Yeah, Austin. Yeah, bro. Talk about you, but I love Austin, but yeah, and I think one day it just kind of slipped, and it was just I'm sorry, what? You know what I mean? I just because everybody else agreed. Mm-hmm. But then you just had this one guy who obviously was on the other side, and right. I was and at one point you were still doing the criminal justice thing, right. So you were I wouldn't say you were on that side, but you definitely were more of a devil's advocate kind of thing. It was well, what about this? And do you think this is, you were asking good questions though, because you weren't trying to be disrespectful about it. You were just genuinely okay, but what about the other side? What about how they feel and blah, blah, blah. And I'm my stance.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, TBH. But, I can still have that conversation without 100% dismissing your, stance, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not going to change my mind, but, okay.
At that point, it's not a matter of changing other person's mind as much as, expressing how you feel in your opinion. And trying to, help the other person see what you see.
Exactly.
But, no, Joey wasn't like that. No. He was very, this is a fact.
Yeah, you're okay, but Joey.
You don't get it.
Yeah, and you just can't talk to people like that. And also because he had, his dad, who I think either was a cop or like new cops or whatever the thing was, but it just was like, you can't see it, and it's like, I just wish you would know your own privilege. Just check your privilege at the door, please. Please.
Let me give you this card that tells you exactly what your privileges are for today.
Exactly. Also, you might hear my stomach rumbling, but I apologize.
Are you hungry?
I shouldn't be. I did eat today, but I think I ate once today. But I'm not gonna like up and go eat on things.
Yeah, I also ate once today, but I got food in the fridge and I'm just fuck it up after this podcast.
Nice.
Heat that shit up and just, I'm not even gonna chew, I'm just gonna swallow.
I'm just gonna swallow it whole, bro. That's how it be.
Yep.
Literally, when I leave here, I'm going to stop at Wawa. I meant to do it beforehand, but I was like, man, I'm already kind of, because I was debating on like using my car, but then I have not driven my car in like months. I had to start it today to make sure that shit still came on. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, because you work at home.
Yes.
And you stream at home.
Dude, when I literally say that I do I'm always busy, but I don't leave my bedroom. Like, I'm just here. Right. But I'm okay though, which is like weird.
Well, you got Minnie, so
that's true.
How would you not be?
Oh my god, I get so excited when she like chooses my room to be in for the day. She won't leave. She'll go to sleep, obviously, but it's like she's here. She'll
come in the morning. You're like,
yeah, yup. Like, she busts in after she gets her little food, and she's like, all right, what's up? You know, she'll say hi to me, bump at the leg, and then she'll hop in the bed, and she's like, all right, peace out, and then just like dies for like
up,
7
KJ?
hours. Literally, yep. But it's cool though, because I'm like, I have the cats, and then Kayana will literally legit come in my room and try to steal Minnie. She like tries to get her to move, like she jumps on the bed, like jumps on it to try to like.
Duck,
yeah, like, whoa. Like, Minnie's like, okay, other human is here, but it's okay, because she trusts us.
I chose this today.
Yeah.
I want to be here.
I'm here. And Kai will keep trying to get her to get up. Like, she's, like, tapping her and, like, holding her. You know how people just annoy their pets?
Yeah.
Kai holds Minnie's head, and she's like, I'm going to punch this cat, and, like, hold a fist to her face, but Minnie just sniffs it and just...
Yeah, I'd be gripping Max by the neck.
Like, I could kill you.
Yeah.
With one fell swooping.
Don't make me break the other leg.
Don't make me take the other one.
You want wheels? I'll give you wheels.
Yeah, I'll put you in a wheelchair, bro.
Poor Max. Like, I'll just be watching him eat and like drink, and I'm just like, I could end your life right now. He's not even doing anything.
No, he's just minding his damn business.
That's right.
I let you eat another day.
You only breathe in this household because I let you.
Because I let you.
This oxygen, I pay for it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So, that's how we met, GameStop.
Yes.
Those were the crazy days, dude. Optimal hangout times.
Oh my gosh. The pandemic, could you imagine if the pandemic happened when you started at GameStop? I don't think we would have made it this far.
Yeah, we would not have been friends.
Nope.
I feel like the real connections were made outside of GameStop. At GameStop, that was the chillest part. But you didn't have those deep conversations or like heart-to-hearts at work. Not usually.
No, and you probably shouldn't. While
Bro,
customers are walking up, like, bro. But you're like deepest fears, man. Oh, I'm sorry. How can I help you? What game are you looking at?
Mortal Kombat? Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
Do you want new or pre-owned?
I think you should really go for pre-owned. It is $5 cheaper.
So you were telling me about your father's death?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No.
Yeah, everything happened outside. And then Kaylee's, I think that's what really got us, like, Kaylee's Halloween parties.
Yes. Or any of her parties, honestly. It didn't have to be the Halloween one.
I miss her parties, dude. If COVID didn't happen.
Bro. Kaylee was like, had the best, like, because I didn't think I was going to be the type of person that goes to parties, and I was actively hyped when she was like, dudes, I'm going to do something, and I'm like, yes, I'm there, again. I want to be there,
please, do it again.
Do it again,
and do it in your household.
Yes, and make dip, please. I didn't like always ask. I was like, you don't have to make the dip, but if you did, I would not be opposed, because I was obviously going to take, like,
and I'll still be there.
Yes,
but if there isn't dip, there's going to be less of a chance that I will be there.
There's less of a chance I'll stay longer.
Oh my god. As soon as the dip's gone, I was like, alright guys.
Alright, well.
It was fun being here.
No, I would never do that. But
man, yeah, I mean, like, her parties were just...
Man, they were the best. And they lasted long. Like, you would go at anytime between like 8:30 to like 10 p.m. and stay. Legit till like 4. Well, some people would peel out at like 2 a.m. or 1.
Those were the early ones.
Those were the early ones, exactly. Like I stayed till like 4:30 a.m. Kimmy was usually there. Davey was usually there. They stayed till 4 a.m. I'm pretty sure you stayed pretty long sometimes. You did peel out kind of. I know Sam back when he lived with his mom. He was going.
Guys, it's 10:30. I gotta go.
We were like, God damn.
But people were still showing up.
Yeah, legit. Like he would be going out the door. Davey and Kimmy pulling up. What's up, Sam? See ya.
Great party in there.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. But yo.
I mean, they're not over. But, like, we just gotta wait for everything to go back to normal.
Exactly. Like, because even I don't play any games with the pandemic. Like, and you know that. Because every time you're like, hey, you want to do this? No. There's still a pandemic out there.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely tough to, like, especially when you, like, told me about recording a podcast over, like, Discord. I thought about it. But, like a real conversation can't be really had over Discord.
It's definitely better in person. I'll say that because you can read the room, you can see the person's face. It just feels more personal. I will say that. So
yeah, on Discord, like you have those little beeps, little notifications that go off, and just
that's true too. And it kind of like takes you out of it for a second.
Yeah.
Like, so I understand.
You don't got that here. You only got Godzilla in the background.
even still, I can't hear that, and I'm sure you know why. So.
So tell me about your Hunger Games experience.
Hunger Games?
Yeah, like how'd you lose the hearing in the one?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I was born with it. Like.
Okay, you're pretty sure.
We're pretty, cause like my mom, like obviously with kids you can't really tell unless like.
It's kind of like eyesight, where like you can't tell exactly what they see until one day they're like, "Hey mom, what does that say?"
Right, exactly. Like, cause you have to grow up and be able to learn how to communicate with the other person. Otherwise, I'm just this kid, and she's like not sure why. I'm just doing baby things already. I'm crying for no reason because, fuck it, man. I want attention, I guess. Like I don't know, but so like once I got to a certain age, and she would like call my name or she would say something to me, and I'm always like, huh, what? And she's like, you're doing that quite a lot. We should probably go to a doctor. So. We go to CHOP or whatever, and then, like, my grandma worked there at the time. I'm pretty sure she still worked there, and ran some tests, and they were like, okay, so her hearing is not as strong and in the right ear as it is in her left ear. And apparently, I didn't know it was, like, a 75% hearing loss, so that's a lot. That's 3/4 of my hearing in my right ear. Yeah. So they were like, okay, well, we'll try hearing aids, and then I guess as I got older, the hearing aid technology kind of improved because there's like a whole bunch of shit when it comes to like audio and hearing. It's like pitches and different things. So like my specific issue is when, well, obviously if you're speaking way too low, I can't discern what you're saying to me. It just kind of, it sounds like gibberish when it comes out, and then, but I can sometimes use context clues like based off of what we were already saying or whatever it kind of sounds like. I'm trying to piece together in my head. So sometimes
maybe even facial or like gestures might have answered it, like usually, yes or no questions, kind of.
Yeah, so if it's like a yes or no question, I'm like, okay, obviously that's yes, no.
By the way you moved your head, I can tell.
But so I started, but I was able. I guess I got away with it was for so long because I started to read lips. So. I'm not that good at it anymore, but I used to be able to, read your lips and try to like, oh, okay, that's what they're saying. And I used to do it like all the time. So if I might not look at you in your eyes, I might look at your lips if I feel like I'm starting to lose the conversation a little bit, just so I can keep up and hopefully not have to ask you, what did you say?
For the 4th time.
Exactly. Like, and then after a certain point, I just say, fuck it, we're just gonna go to the laughter. I feel like a lot of people do that, even just normal people, but like, that's what I do. And then if it doesn't make sense, just understand. I just didn't hear you, and I'm done asking you what you said. I'm done.
We're moving on because I feel like shit.
Exactly.
Do you answer the phone on different sides because of that, or like fuck it? It's so close to the ear. It's like,
I know people. Can you talk on the phone on both ears? I've seen it like where some people will talk on this one and then switch ears and then they go to the other side. Do you ever do that?
I usually do my right ear unless it's like preoccupied. Very rarely doing something else. Then I'll answer on my left.
but everything is exactly the same. It doesn't matter.
Right. Like, I don't hear it lesser or lower or higher. It's the same.
I only answer the phone on my left ear. That's why every time we're like walking or something, you might see me like switch to your right.
Yeah.
So you can be on my left, and I'm more likely to hear and understand what you're saying. Because if you're on my right, it's not that your volume is lower, but I can't. Everything starts to sound like the sounds are the same for me. If that makes sense.
Now, when you put on like gaming headsets, is it like?
So because I'm using gaming headsets, the sound it's kind of like I don't know how to like put this, but so when I'm playing video games, I'm clearly fine. Mm-hmm. Like 9 times out of 10 it's Call of Duty or some shit. So it's just bullets.
It's right here.
So but when I put the headsets on, obviously this ear is stronger, but that's the ear that I'm mainly listening in. I can still hear you on this side too, but because I guess it's the headset and everything is kind of blasting at the same volume in both sides, I'm still picking up most of the audio here. Your voices, the game, footsteps, whatever. It's all coming. I'm listening on this side mainly. It's still here on the other side, but if I were to mute the left ear thing, I'm not going to be able to really hear what you're saying, or the game for that matter. It sounds muffled. Like if you were to close, this is what it feels like. But it's not at a lesser volume. It's just, I don't know what you're saying.
I guess it's just like God's fucked up way of saying that he loves us, you know?
I guess. I mean, I got 20/20 vision. My eyeballs are great. It's my ears that it's just my hearing. So
everybody's gonna have one thing.
Exactly. I always was like, damn, man, what if why didn't I get the eye thing? That's so easy. I was like, people, like, getting glasses I thought was so cheap. If I wanted to go get a hearing aid today, that would cost, like, a lot of money.
That I don't have.
Yeah, like, who wants to pay for that? And they did tell me that, like, because the reason why I don't wear hearing aids anymore is because the one that I had for, like, literally, like, 10 years of my life, I started to grow out of it. So that's why I stopped wearing it, because you have to get a new mold. It has to be fitted and shit, and you gotta wait and all that. But, so I outgrew it, surprisingly. But I did. And they were like... It was supposed to be a test. She was like, all right, well, just use this for like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, and then come back and let me know if it helps you. Because then they tailored it. Remember I said, I think, like, obviously, I hear, like, technology improves over time. So I think they definitely upped the hearing aid technology, because then they tailored it to the way I could hear. So it, like, upped the pitches and things and stuff. Because when there's a lot of noise, I really have a problem. That's why I'm like, okay, wait, shut up. You say what you gotta say. Because if there's, like, you talking and then Sam and Tyler having a conversation right next to me, Nope. Even if it's on the bad side, I can still hear it. Which is weird. But that's, like, my biggest issue. Like, that's what they found out. And that was, like, at least in the last 5 years. Because I don't wear it anymore. But that was, like, about the last time I took the test or whatever. I'm supposed to wear it for 2 weeks so I can see if it's helping or hindering. And I was like, I didn't wear it because it hurts. And she was like, well, you were supposed to. And I was like, oh, no. I'm just gonna not do it. I think I'm fine. If all else fails, I'll just learn American Sign Language. It's cool. We'll be alright. I text mostly anyway. Who does phone calls like that?
I don't even like hearing.
Exactly. I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
I'll just be reverse Daredevil.
Reverse Daredevil. Well, my other senses aren't that strong, I don't think. I thought my nose was gonna get it, but then it didn't.
Like touch? What about touch?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Could you, like, touch a wall and feel how many people are in the other room?
No. Unfortunately. My hands are too small for that, too, so it would kind of suck, because my senses wouldn't be able to cover too much, like, area. So it would be, like, 5 centimeters.
Ah, yes. There's a squirrel behind this wall.
Yep. That's about as good as I can get, man. I'd be with the faulty sense or powers, the ones that no one cares about.
Now, when we put this podcast up, the thumbnail's gonna have a picture of your persona.
Okay.
Which is Troy.
Yeah.
Tell me about how that came about. Like, when, like, at what age were you like, yeah?
I don't even know. I want to say maybe, like, between the ages of, like, 10 and, like, 13. Because I was kind of young I honestly don't even remember how I stumbled upon it, but I remember I was in my dad's basement because that was his room at the time, and I was just on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Don't remember what I was looking up, but somehow I stumbled upon like this video of like these fursuiters. So those are like the furries that have the costumes of their said characters,
right?
Which cost anywhere between like $800 to like 12 grand plus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's like a car.
Yeah. So I just was like watching this video of these like characters. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, you know, just little kid me. But I think kids just like characters and costumes, period. But then I was like, oh, I want to see more of this. And then there's like colorful characters that aren't like your normal like foxes, which is just like brown and orange and all that shit. Like there's like green, blue, neon, pink. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like this shit's bumping.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of cool. And I think the reason I was drawn to it so much, at least my reason for being in the community, is the fact that I like the idea of having my own cartoon character, because I love Bugs Bunny. Mm-hmm. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I love, Gumball. All these like cartoons that we grew up with, right?
Right.
Well, I mean those are kind of like later cartoons, but Courage the Cowardly Dog, I'll say that. But yeah, and I thought, damn, it'd be pretty cool to have like a cartoon character that is like mine, that belongs to me. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times furries are like social outcasts. They're the nerds, they like the anime. That's back when anime wasn't cool. Now it's fucking mainstream, which is wild. But yeah, like, so, and like into like computers, IT usually, or STEM. I'll say STEM, the science-ish stuff. But yeah, and then over time I was like, okay, and it just stuck with me, I guess. I was like, then I started to have money, and I was like, oh, I can pay for things. I can pay to have this character. And of course, I was still in the video game, so she always had that like video game aesthetic. She looked like an Xbox cat at the time, or right, like a husky, I guess. Because she was like gray and green and black, and then I think she had brown. Yeah.
I want to see early depictions of Troy.
Okay, I can show you her first.
Like Model 1.
Yeah, Model 1. Yeah, like Model 1, version 1 of Troy. I can definitely show you that. She had like buttons on her back, and then she had like the the control pad on like her stomach, kind of like a Care Bear. But
like a Teletubby, or like.
Well, we'll say Care Bear, because they had actual symbols on their stomachs.
Yeah.
So that's what she had. I don't know why. I was like, I need that on there, and they were like, okay. It was weird. Like, how would you even implement that on fur? Anyway, but that's what I chose, and over time I was like, okay, this is getting a little silly. Let's just dial it back. And then her newest version I got like last year, so that's. Yeah, I guess the one I had was for like at least 4 or 5 years, and then the recent one I did just change, so she finally got an update. And pretty much still the same, very little tweaks, but I definitely removed the gamepad because I was like, that's doing too much. So now it's just a tramp stamp. Right. Because you definitely mentioned it in VR chat. You were like, KJ, what is that? And I was like, it is a tramp stamp. But yeah, like, and she's just, I don't know, like, she is my persona, but I don't see her as, like, someone I'm trying to be, at least not anymore, because I feel like I've reached that point, especially after college. Like, I was definitely introverted, but now I think I'm, like, more ambivert, so I can kind of fluctuate in both now.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know what that is, or you
no,
don't? Okay, so
you explained it.
Okay, yeah. But for those who don't know, an ambivert is someone who kind of has both the introvert and the extrovert, like, traits, personality. Yeah, qualities, yeah. So, while you still want to probably maintain, a little reserved, you like your alone time, you like being on your own, but you can also, enjoy a good party, you like being with your friends, like that. I can fluctuate. So, I think now she's more so just, and kind of like my mascot, kind of like, because I use her for everything. I was
Would you call it like your sigil?
She could be, yeah. More like my little icon. Like when people see me, they think of Troy, I guess.
Like your avatar.
Yeah.
Like a Ready Player One universe. Kind of like,
exactly. Yeah. Troy would be my avatar. as she also is in VR chat. So yeah, see,
well, I mean, like I can definitely get behind that, like having your own. This is like my avatar, like creating your own, not just like me taking Alphonse. I'm like, yeah, this shit's tough. Yeah. Look at me, I'm Alphonse. Like no, like this is like your creation.
Yeah. That's my baby. So that's why I think, and TBH, VR chat was like a much more affordable option rather than like the fursuit. Also, because I don't like heat in my hair. I'm black, bro. That shit's, the white people keep that shit. There are black ones, don't get me wrong. And there's ways to maintain, but we ain't there yet. And I would have to be moved out and everything because that care, and I just don't have it.
You need like a whole closet to store it too.
Well, a lot of times you can just keep it in like a tote. A lot of people do, like a
suitcase.
Not like a suitcase, but you know, like one of them like plastic type of, like the big ones, the big tote. Yeah, people usually use that. You know, you put everything in it, make sure it's clean, but take it out every once in a while. Don't let it get dusty. Clean it, because you definitely should clean it after every use.
Do you take it to fur cons?
Yeah, like you would, you know, take it with you. If you're driving, it's much better. Some people can have it shipped overnight so that way you have it by the time you get there. Or people fly with it on the plane. I damn sure wasn't doing none of that. Especially not flight, because I am going to fly. But I'll be damned if, like, I'm in this security and they're looking at the head in the x-ray, John. Like, so,
So, you want to tell us about the dead animal in your suitcase?
Like, I can explain. It's weird, but I can explain.
Yeah, it wasn't dead when I already killed it.
Exactly. And it's all fake. Not real fur.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
It's not even a real animal.
Exactly. It's a hybrid. But yeah, so that's trying my baby.
That's great, but like I'm assuming that like being would you consider yourself a furry?
I would.
Being a furry, being female, being black, and liking video games, I'm assuming you had quite a hard come up.
Oh. See,
like the furry, I feel like the furry was like the icing on top of all of it.
So I was able to keep that under wraps. Because I don't outwardly be like, oh, hey, you know, my name's KJ. I'm into furries.
Right. Like, I didn't know for the longest time. I think somebody let it slip.
So it was like a not so secret kind of thing. Like if you were to ask, sure, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have nothing to hide. Like, I like showing her off if people are genuinely interested. But I know that it's kind of weird. Not kind of. It is. I'm aware of that. And it's because of the stigma that I just don't go around being like, yo, this shit's lit. Like, check out my characters.
Like if you just meet somebody, like, yo, what's up? I'm like, my name's KJ, I'm a furry. They're like, oh, they like yiffing.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Like, that's the first thing that comes to mind to them.
Exactly. So I don't do that. I try to let you get to know me first. Right. And then if you like me, eventually you'll find out. Whether I just outwardly tell you or you ask questions. Or you just figure it out and then you ask me eventually and I'm like, yeah, I just confirm it. That's usually what happens. Because I know when we worked at GameStop, sometimes I would wear the hoodie with her on it. But she was dressed as Luigi, right, which is something I do a lot. So a lot of times people are like, oh, it's just this cute little thing or whatever. But they don't really totally associate it.
These fools.
Yeah, incognito type shit, bro. Like, right under your nose.
What a neat cartoon you have there.
Yeah. Where's that from? Oh, yeah. I made it.
I was one of those dumbasses, too. I looked at the hoodie and I was like, oh, she must be like a YouTuber that, like, does this. And that's fine.
Which was correct.
And, like, I remember the first time somebody told me, like, yeah, dude, KJ's a furry. Not, like, in a bad way, but, like, informing me.
Yeah.
So that I didn't say something wrong. I was like, no.
No.
This can't be. KJ's like, cool.
How does that work?
I didn't get it. Like at the time I was like, man, being a furry, like, you must be a weirdo. Because that was the stigma.
Exactly.
A lot of people believe it because all that they're exposed to is the weird side of it.
Mm-hmm. The CSI episode too, that went mainstream and that's what really like fucked it up. Yeah. That image
I was like, traitor.
Utmost betrayal.
And so I was like, this can't be right. And then eventually I was like, oh, This is what you're fucking into. Like,
yeah. No, I remember we were like sitting in your room, and I think, or no, I forget where we were, but you had followed me on Twitter because that's like where I do like most of like that's like my furry social media. That's the only. Well, now I have the Instagram, but at the time that was like the only one where I like really was like, this is my thing, and this is where I'm free. And then I was like, I texted you. I was like, listen, you don't have to follow this. That's okay. And you were like, oh, okay. And then you unfollowed. And then I think you refollowed again, and you were like, "Nah, man, but like you're my friend, and this is, like if this is what you're into, like I'm cool with that. Like I wanna support you." And I'm like, "Okay." I mean, they're like, cause I'm not that furry that does all the not safe for work, cause obviously there is that like mature side, but there's a mature side to every fandom. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
What is it? Rule 38.
Rule 34.
Rule 34. Doesn't matter what you like.
Exactly.
It could be Transformers, The Office,
My Little Pony.
Exactly. All the communities have it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
The internet is a disgusting place, KJ.
It really is. It's so bad.
You put a dick on everything.
Why though? I know what's crazy. I will say the one thing I find like really weird about the furries is that they are so comfortable talking about what goes on in the bedroom, and I'm like, bitch. Like they have AD accounts, and I'm just like, I'm not judging anybody, but I can't comprehend being like, you know what? Let's be horny with like 20 of my friends. Like, no.
You can't associate because you're a furry with this, because that affects all of us.
Yeah.
How about you just leave the furry part out and go do your freak thing on a Finsta or something
like yes, like just if like you can have your freaky social medias and whatnot, and I know Twitter has like the porn on it too, but I'm just like, it's definitely common for people to be like, man, here's my AD, but it's only for like close friends only, and I'm like, what the I don't want to know what you like that, like I don't know you, like it's the people that you don't know, and they are so comfortable being like, yeah, I'm in the BDSM and I like feet, and I'm like, excuse me, like,
this is a safe community, man.
Yeah, and they tolerate a lot of shit, and that's what makes it also like weird and bad, because it's like there's a lot of young people. Like I said, you get into it when you're little.
Yeah. So,
and then there are people in the community that do want to try to protect the younger ones, so like they don't see that shit, and also, and a lot of people do hide it like behind, like their accounts are locked, obviously, because like you don't want no minors to be following you, because kids are kids and they're experimenting with their sexualities too as they grow older, but no.
Right. This is for the older kids.
Yeah, so yeah, and people do take precautions. Some people do, some people don't, whatever, but you'll never ever catch Troy in like any type of not safe for work, and if you do, somebody stole my character's art or is like paid for somebody and like pretended like I gave them permission. And I'm telling you right now. We're going to
court.
Oh yeah, no, I would sue the fuck out of you if you did some crazy shit like that. But no, Troy is, because I'm not in it for that. You know what I mean? I don't want no parts of that. I'm cool. Whatever I decide I'm into, that's gonna be staying in my motherfucking bedroom, bro. Like, no, people don't need to know what I like, unless I'm with someone, and even that person can't be going around saying shit. So,
right.
But yeah, so everything about Troy is like safe for work, 100%. I associate her with other like kid shit like Luigi, so she damn sure. Well, I mean, you like I said, you'll find sexual shit of anybody anywhere. So
yeah, even Luigi.
Even of Luigi, I've seen it, and I'm just like, I'm disgusted.
poor plumber.
No, it's so bad.
That's crazy. We touched on how we met. Mm-hmm. We touched on your persona in the furry community. Tell me about green.
Green?
You love green.
Okay. So remember before when you tried to change the lights? Mm-hmm. And I said I like yellow as a backup because of Tails.
Yeah.
My colors my favorite color was always based off of a cartoon character that I liked. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say it started with the Powerpuff Girls. Uh-huh. So as I grew older, I kept changing who my favorite Powerpuff Girl was. I think in the beginning, it was Bubbles. Yeah. I was like, I love Bubbles. So Sky Blue is my favorite character. Love bubbles, talk shit. Like, it was just, that was my thing. And then I got a little older and I was like, you know what? I really fucks with Blossom, She's really cool. She's the leader. Like, she gets shit done. She keeps everybody else on track. Blossom. Favorite color? Pink, red, whatever that was. And then the final stages. I reached Buttercup.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah. And so, Buttercup was just so badass. And I was like, you know what? As like, because at the time, I guess it was more tomboyish to be into like video games, and most of my friends were guys. Like, you know what I mean? She wasn't into girly shit. Like, she wasn't like the makeup character. She wasn't into like the dolls. Although I've had dolls. Mainly plushes. But I've had dolls. And at that, I was like, you know what? I want more of that. Like, I really like this character. I want to be more like her. I wasn't like her, but I want to be more like her. Like her. And so then green became my favorite. And it was like different shades. I was like, do I like lime green? Or do I like this light green? Or am I a dark green? I was just like, no, fuck it, just be green. At first it stuck with just her color, but then as I got older, I was like, you know what? Green is pretty good. There's a lot of good things with green. Money.
Luigi.
Luigi, yep. And he doesn't get a lot of love. So I was like, as the lesser liked brother, I was like, you know what? I'm with the underdogs. Luigi's my guy. He's green too. It's obviously meant to be. And then it just stuck to being like my good color. Like the college that I went to that like really helped me grow into like the personality that I have today. Green. The horse was like green. It was like dark green, but the college colors were like green, white, and black or some shit. But yeah. So that just ended up being my thing. And then when it came to because I always liked Sonic. So before the color green though, it was yellow. Because I just love Tails. And I don't know why I love Tails so much. Like, I think it was because of, it's the underdog. He doesn't get enough love. He's so cute. And
like Luigi.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I seem to follow this underdog trail. Like, man, this character doesn't get enough love. Like
they're literally doing the exact same thing that the other person is doing, but for some reason doesn't get half of the love.
Exactly. So I just was like, you know what? He's got my vote, my support.
Yeah.
And yellow is like pretty bright. I don't know why, but like I just was like, you know what? Fuck it, yellow. Yeah. So if I can't pick green, I'll go for yellow.
Yeah, I fucking hate yellow.
You hate yellow?
I hate yellow.
Why?
Like, no, let me be honest. I hate like a bright corn yellow, like an obnoxious yellow. Like there's no color that can like, I'll be looking like you can put a whole rainbow in front of my eyes. Red, blue, purple, pink, brown, whatever. When it gets to yellow, that's when I'm like, turn this shit off. Even if it was white, like a flashbang, it's not as bad as like mustard. Just like I lost my appetite.
Damn. Okay, that's fair. See, I particularly like Tails' is yellow. I don't know what shade that is exactly, but I like his. Because he was mustard at one point, and I did not like that at all. Like in the like cartoons, like the old ones, he's like an ugly brown mustard thing, and I'm like
I remember that, where he has like a weird face.
Yeah, like his hair is not, I mean, obviously they were going through, I guess that was the okay changes at the time, I don't know, but then they changed it for the better, which is great, because I was like, yeah, no, brighten my nigga up. He looks like trash. Yeah, but yeah, so that's why I like yellow too.
And green, like Midoriya, that was like your favorite character in My Hero.
Yeah,
a big part of it because of green.
You said that's why you like it, or you telling me that's why I like it?
No, like that's. I remember you telling me like when you see it, mainly because he's a hero. He's like pure, like he is like the holy angel, such a pure boy. But like, not like. It only helps that he wears all green.
And he is all like his hair is green, even though the shading is so hard in that show.
Yeah.
When they show light on his hair is actually green, not black.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, okay.
I like this guy.
Yeah,
He's
I
on
do
the
too.
right track.
That's the same color as Troy's new hair now.
Dark green?
Mm-hmm. Because before it was black with green highlights. And now it's just dark green.
Sweet, dude.
Yes. Also part of the reason why I had green highlights was because I was mimicking Troy. And I was like, I can do that in real life.
I remember that.
I'm going to do it.
Remember those days.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could do it again. But to keep up, I would have to keep going to the salon. And I'm like, not in this pandemic. Absolutely not. But yeah.
Tell me about Iron Man.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's...
Tell me everything about Iron Man.
Okay.
The beginning. I want the origin.
Alright. So the reason I love Iron Man so much was because, do you remember the game Marvel's Ultimate Alliance?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my dad had that, and he let me and my sister play it. So we're playing this game, and we get to this, this character, Iron Man, and I'm like, oh, okay, he seems really cool. And then I'm not sure if it was the first time I played it, but we had unlocked, he gave us the cheat codes. So I was just like, unlock every outfit, every variation, I want it all. And so we did that, and I guess I don't know what it was that like really attracted me to this guy, because I'm so young, I don't really understand what's really being said in the game. Like I'm old enough to follow along and play the game and like keep moving forward in the story. I got that, but as far as like the characters and what they're saying and what they're really talking about, I didn't know nothing about him. I just knew that he was cool looking, this like armored suit, and he can shoot. I like projectiles, clearly. If it wasn't known from Smash, I like projectiles. And all his combos with like other characters was like really cool, because if you I'm not sure if it was all characters, but certain characters had this like thing where some of them can do like combos off of each other. So if you played like Iron Man and Cap, he could shoot the shield, and the shield lasers would just go around the room and just fuck everybody up. Right. I was like, that shit right there, I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's kill everyone at once and move on. So I played him, and I just was like, man, I'm into this. Like, I could fly. I was flying. I was like, you know what? I think it was just all these things. I was like, this character is so cool.
You were overwhelmed by
yes, him. And I was just like, man. And I just played him throughout the entire game. And the reason why I don't like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is because I played him in the beginning, and then they make you switch characters. It's like sets of characters to play as, because it's like, I don't know. Like, I think in the first part, it's like Iron Man, Wolverine, I believe Cap, and like someone else, maybe Thor or Hulk, I don't know. And then they were like, okay, now we got to do a new mission over here, but these are the heroes you're using. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Where's Iron Man?
I didn't sign up for this.
Exactly. So I just was like, nope. And I know Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is also really good, but I just couldn't get past the fact that I couldn't use my hero. Like I didn't switch characters in that game. Once I was able to play him from beginning to end, that's who I played. Yeah. I never switched. I mean, I think I played Doctor Strange for a little bit of time, maybe like 30 minutes, and I was like, no, I need Iron Man. That guy's slick. And I had the black armor on for him, so I wasn't even using the red and gold. I just was like, this shit's fire. And then I don't know how long it took, but the movie came out, and I was like, oh my god, this is the hero that I've been playing. My dad was like, yeah, that's your guy. And I was like, oh, Dad, we gotta go see this. And he was like, okay. So then he took me to go see Iron Man, and I like, he's so smart. He's so into technology. I was like, man, I'm on my computer all day too, bro. Like, this dude's pretty fucking lit. I was
We're the same.
We're the same. Yes, I was like, dude, what the fuck? So it was just timing, I guess. Like, because like I said, like I played the game and I loved it, and I thought the character was cool. I didn't truly understand him, but I just liked everything about him. And then the movie comes out. Couldn't have been too many months later. Not even a year, I don't think. And I just was like, wow. And then I got attached to it. And now I think at this age, because I was really good at following actors. Like, I know a lot of, like, pop culture. A lot. I watch a lot of TV. So I understand actors and movies and stuff. And if I find an actor that I like, I try my best to go back and watch all their work. Because now I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm infatuated with this character now. So he did Iron Man. And then I think he did the Shaggy Dog, too. That didn't go over well. Didn't have a lot of good reviews, but I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cute, and that had Robert Downey Jr. and Tim Allen in it. And that was a remake. The first one is actually really funny. That's where that like one gif comes from, where the dog like stands up on the dude's shoulders and like punches him in the face, and you're like, the fuck? Okay. But yeah, so I just followed his career, and then he started coming out with all these things, and then the cinematic universe started to like fall into play. Now they're bringing in the Hulk, and I don't know who was next. Thor, maybe, or Captain America. Things just started to meld, and I was like, you know what? But I just stuck with the character, and I just was like, this is my character. And then fast forward to today, there is a black girl version of Iron Man, and she, in her original design, she had an afro with green highlights.
Huh.
Exactly. That's why I kept being like, bro, I'm not even gonna hold you. I would absolutely try out an audition for that role. Not even bullshit. And now she is about to get her own show or movie.
Yeah, series on Disney Plus.
Yep.
And it's MCU.
See, full circle, man.
I wonder how that's gonna like play in, you know?
So that's true. Yeah, I guess because if it's MCU, then he's dead. That's confirmed. And a lot of people thought it was gonna be like his daughter, right? Because she's just like him, and that makes sense too. Like, but listen, I'm rooting for everybody black. I am here for the black girl Iron Man, the character that I've been following for years. You know, there's a black girl version. Shit.
You think like maybe like in the MCU, Piper, Tony Stark's widow, has like a student or somebody, and she's like, you.
So that's probably the route that they're gonna go, because I'm assuming she's gonna take over the company, and
because I'm assuming it can't just be like a random person's like, all right,
yeah, nah, she's gonna like, she has like an origin story, and I haven't even really like looked at it too much, because I definitely got pissed off when they tried to change her design.
Right.
They did actually, because there's like some animated series, I don't know what it's called, but it does have Miss Marvel in it too. It's got a couple different, like, new gen heroes.
Yeah, I think I heard about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have, but she's, like...
It's got Spider-Gwen, too, right?
I think so, yep.
Yeah.
It has, like, all these, like, characters. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm down for it. But then they, like, straightened her hair and then, like, lightened her skin. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
You're fucking it up.
Exactly. I was like, she was so fine before.
Yo, Mr. Disney came down from his high horse and was like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Exactly.
Who said you could do this?
Bro. And I'm just like, oh. But I was like, but I'm glad that for the live action, she's like hella melanated. Like, that is a black woman. Yeah. I was like, okay. And she's got like dreads or braids. I was like,
without a doubt.
Yes. You're not going to look at this and question, is she black? Is she mixed? Like, no.
You know.
No, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm here for that. So I didn't even touch the series after that. Because everybody was pissed. It was like, dude, how do you go from this to that? I'm talking, she had an afro. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, alright, okay. And she was dark-skinned. By the way, so not only did you just change her tone by like 5, like I was like, bro, like, you know the scale of emojis?
Yeah.
She was like at least number 2 on the dark side. And then they went back to the light side. I was like, the fuck is this? She was like number 3 at that point on the light side. I was like, no.
You gotta give it to them. They really tried to
fuck
her up.
Yeah. But it will be interesting to see how they implement her, because I forget how they find her. I think she was just kind of like building her own suits, because hers are like pink and yellow and black.
I don't think I've ever seen her like Mach 1 suits.
Really? Yeah.
I don't think I've ever read a comic of hers, actually. I just remember she was a thing and everybody was going crazy.
Yeah, because it was like, oh.
Yeah, because they made Thor girl.
My god, yeah, and she's getting a movie, Lady Thor or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I was
and
like,
then
damn.
they made Hulk a girl. Then they made they revamped her design.
I was going to say, because She-Hulk was already a thing, but they were two separate things.
Right.
Like, She-Hulk and Hulk could get together.
Oh yeah. and then Iron Man is a girl now. And like people were going crazy at that time. You never thought that sexism was so alive until that shit happened.
Honestly, I want to say sexism. I mean, it's always been around, obviously, but it wasn't even.
Book community, like.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. Star Wars, dude. Whoever was in the newer like versions, I think her name's Jodie Tran or something like that. Mm-hmm. It was like the Asian babe. She wasn't even like a crazy. I don't think she was a crazy core character.
Oh no, not at all. But
she just got hate just because she was like there. I was like.
Yeah. There was no valid reason. She didn't do a bad acting job.
No.
She didn't put the movie in peril.
They were like, what is this Asian woman doing here? And I'm like, what the f...
We've seen Asians before. This is Star Wars.
Right. But God forbid you see like a non-white person take up more than 20 minutes of screen time. They're like, what is this? SJWs? Are you kidding me? I'm like, bitch.
No, in all honesty, John Boyega was definitely robbed from his Jedi role in that trilogy.
Who?
John Boyega.
Oh my.
He Nobody can tell me differently. He was supposed to be a Jedi. He was supposed to be a stormtrooper turned Jedi. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Nothing wrong with Daisy Ridley. I love her. She's a great actor.
That's what is her name? Is it Rey?
Rey.
Okay.
Nothing against her, but like she stole the spotlight. And it's not her fault because she's just the actor.
Yeah,
but like the role that she was in, it just so happens that they wrote her character to like be related to somebody or something, and boom, she gets the lightsaber.
Boom.
Because he had it in the first movie, in the trilogy. The first movie was the best.
Of the New Age stuff.
Yeah, and only because it basically ripped off like number 4 to a T.
Damn.
And they just added extra shit. That's why it was so fucking good, because it was like, oh, this is just 4, but like better.
Yeah.
You know what fucking sucks from that trilogy?
Yeah.
You should never have a trilogy where the middle movie, number 2, is filler. Like, you can skip that one and not miss a beat.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn.
You can watch maybe 8 minutes total in, like, the second movie and just be caught up. That is a fucking disrespect. How do you do that?
Not in no damn movie. Like,
that's not even a trilogy.
No.
You just released movie 1, 1.5, and 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I pulled the Kingdom Hearts right quick.
You could have just put in deleted scenes from like on the first disc. Like you didn't have to make a whole second movie. It was bad, dude. Damn. And then the third one I haven't even seen. I'm too scared to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's been out for like a year or 2 now. And I'm just like, I don't want to watch it because if it sucks, then the whole trilogy, throw it in the trash.
Throw the whole thing away.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
If the first one's good, but the last 2 suck, we don't need it.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
But, you know, they get some things right. But I guess it depends on, like, the director and shit. Because, like, The Mandalorian is, like, really, really good, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Season 2, I'm assuming it's going well, or...
Oh, I finished it. Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, it's done?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
Season 2's done.
Okay.
Season 3's coming out December of next year.
Okay.
Definitely 2021.
See, they should have had the guy who wrote The Mandalorian make the new movies. I don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, I get it. The movies and the shows... Because Lucasfilms, it's like, he sold that, didn't he? Like, that's not his anymore,
Oh, yeah,
is
he
it?
has no part in that. But you know who wrote The Mandalorian?
Who?
Jon Favreau.
Of course.
You know who he is?
Yes, that's Happy.
That's Happy, dude!
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, look at my guy go.
He's in so much shit. He's in, like, a really good movie called Chef on Netflix.
Oh.
He's the chef.
Of course.
That guy is so fucking talented.
He is, because he made the really... He pretty much made the first Disney live action. I mean, I don't know if, like, Cinderella was, like, before that or whatever, but I don't think he made that. I don't know. But when it came to, like, animation to a live action, and, like, you didn't think it could be done, but then he did it, and they was like, oh, this shit's fire. The Jungle Book? Well, I'll say the first one. Because then after Jungle Book, they was like, man, we could make money just making remakes on our like, stories? Okay. Sign me up.
This is a market we haven't tapped into yet.
And I'm like, Disney? And, like, part of me is just like, I do believe that Disney doesn't know how to create original content. I do feel like that because all of their fairy tales are just Disney-fied. Like, you know what I mean? Cinderella, like, dumb shits, Pinocchio, all of them have, like, really dark-ass, like, stories like that are not for children.
Yeah, and they just bought, like, Star Wars and Marvel to improve on the franchise and not actually create anything. They got Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
But he hasn't released any good shit in, like, a while.
Damn.
Last thing he was in was, like, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yikes. But, yeah, man, like...
Alright, to close up this podcast, because I'm starving and I really have to pee.
No, you're fine.
And we're like 5 minutes away from the time.
Okay.
I don't usually do this, but because we've been friends for quite some time, do you have any questions for me?
Questions for you.
Like questions that you've been holding on to that like, I don't want to ask them until it's like the right time and the right setting. I remember my favorite color is purple.
I do know your favorite color is purple.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to tell me why your favorite color is purple?
Yeah. My favorite color as a kid was blue. I I love the blue Power Ranger. I loved every blue Pokemon game, like Diamond and Ruby.
Wait, no, Ruby wasn't blue.
Sorry, Sapphire.
I was like, wait, no, that's my birthstone. That's red. I don't like it. I wish I had emerald. But anyway, go on.
I don't know what my birthstone is. My brother liked red, you know, Ruby, and Fire Red, Pearl, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And like as I grew older, I was like, you know, I look up to my brother, so like I'm gonna just put those two colors together, purple.
Damn.
And then Midnight Purple came along. It was over.
It was over. Is that like an actual shade of purple?
Yeah.
Is it like really
purple.
dark?
It's not dark. It's like moody.
I have to look it up. Well, not yet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For coming onto the podcast, KJ.
Thank you for having me, Diego.
Of course, homie. Anytime. Deep conversations with your loved ones are always the best.
That's true.
And there's no gun. All right. Thank you. And good night.
Good night.